Let's have a quick look at the tools. We will start with the pen. So when you draw, and I have this one set to the size and no smoothing, you get this line. Okay, so what happens when we accelerate and then slow down? Interesting. Let's draw slow and I make a really fast line. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so as you can see, when you draw slow, a lot of paint or ink is flowing. When you draw fast, then actually less ink is flowing. So the stroke gets thinner. This is a really nice tool actually when you would like to draw, for example. Because as you can see, your letters look really nice and natural, not so uniform. So I use this actually a lot also for sketching and particularly for handwriting. Then fountain. What does fountain? Ink that gets thicker with speed. Okay, so I draw slow and I draw fast, and then you see how this gets thicker. So it's pretty cool when you do woo woo, kind of like some swoops. Okay, then next one. What do we have? Dynamic pen. Ink that responds to pressure. Okay, so really thin. When I press hard or thin, there it gets thicker. Can make this pen really thicker. And you see then the base stroke is thicker, and when I press harder, yeah. This requires a little bit more of control, like with the pressure, to really make use of the soft transitions, because you can see, in my case, it's a little bit shaky. I personally do not use these two a lot. That's just only my preference. I don't have much use for them because I like actually either the pen or, for example, the fixed width. This is a really nice tool. It doesn't matter how slow or fast or soft, or if you press, it's just one thickness. Okay. Then we have the next one, wire. Wire is pretty cool. Constant width at every zoom level, like a lightweight cat thing. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's zoom in. Oh, you see, it is just one thickness. So this is a perfect tool for kind of like making line drawings, like guidelines, because you can zoom in and it always is super sharp, like when you have guidelines and whatnot. That's where this tool is actually perfect for. Then we have soft pencil and hard pencil. So you see it tries to simulate a 2H and a 2B. So soft pencil, so I draw and then I press hard. Make this a little bit wider and press hard. Okay, and then let's go to the hard pencil and I press hard. You see the difference in how black actually it is. So logically, the hard pencil is not as hard or contrast rich than the soft pencil. Another thing that's really fantastic, look at this. So top down, and now I'm rotating my pen. Oh, I can draw from the side, like with a real pencil. Beautiful. Okay. Then let's go to the next. Marker. Well, it's a marker. This marker is actually pretty easy to work with. And I will, before we do this, make myself here an interesting element. Okay, there. So, marker. So when I go down or horizontal, you pay attention to how I'm holding the pencil. So you see that kind of like parallel to the pen direction is the stroke. Also with the marker, when you press hard, more ink is coming out. When you soften, less paint is coming out. It's like when you slightly go over the paper or you press hard, different ink flow. Now, if I would like to fill this quite nicely, I should align actually my pen or pencil with this line and then just go along it. There. And that's kind of like what I also would do in real life when painting with markers. Yeah. Okay, so that's a marker. Watercolor, well, watercolor is watercolor. It doesn't really require much explanation. But what's pretty cool, how this works here, that should be notified, is look, this blends together. So particularly for architecture, interior illustration, this watercolor works really well. Then we have Airbrush. Well, Airbrush is just putting down paint in a very soft way. If you press more paint is coming out. There you see. Yeah, like actual spray paint. Pretty awesome. Now, when we would like to have something that is solidly filled, we can use the fill tool. Okay, we just draw any shape, and there we are. Nothing more really to talk about. And then we have the dotted line, which is quite cool when we, well, want to create, well, yeah, a dotted line. Also for technical illustration, this is very useful when you would like, for example, to show a walk path or something. I want to kind of like bring this here now to an end. There are also, for example, some more features. You can, as you see, can go into the preferences. All this can be set up in here too. So the opacity, smoothing, the size, etc. This is basically what you have there, but I don't really set this thing up in here because we do this all right there. The last thing maybe to, oh yeah, mask and trim. This is also really good. So here we have a trim tool. What does this, or slice tool, what does it do? It slices really. So you see, individual piece. Same there. Okay. And then we have actually a hard and a soft mask. So I go hard or soft. The difference is just the softness. So when I go and go over it, so this was the hard and this is the soft mask. I'm masking, but this is actually a stroke that is there, and I can move this around. And then whatever is under this mask will be rendered invisible. So for example, when I now draw something over it, you see it is there. It overlays, so it doesn't really work anymore. And what I would have to do ideally is I copy this, delete, and then because I copied it, import, I can paste it back and put it basically on top. Think about sheets of layer. So, and then this way I can redo this. Here, this is a nudge tool. If we would like to, well, as you see, change something, select tool and text tool, move around the view, we do this with the finger. But yeah, this basically wraps everything up. And the last thing maybe also here, we have brush markets. So we have, for example, a sponge or a pattern. So with the pattern tool, we can draw a pattern, and let's say here with the watercolor, the sponge, this is just, well, putting a texture down, as you can see, and so forth. So try those out. They're quite interesting to work with, but this pretty much sums up everything about to know at the beginning about the tools, and that's it.